welcome to my channel Little Whispers of Chandrika. Okay, so this is our rambling session, a podcast session on basically a rundown about my life, how my life went in this whole week. This podcast includes only me. I'm the host and I'm talking about only my life. So, can be a bit boring as well, but please do watch it. It sounds cringe, right? But it's okay. This whole week was a bit of hectic for me because I had in my work side there were a lot of things to do complete. So it was a bit hectic for the weekdays. I would say Saturday, Sunday. I planned on doing lot of stuff. There was a to-do list out of which I haven't completed anything. And if I finish shooting this video, thankfully, one thing will be ticked off from the at list. And I have finally watched the amazing show One Tree Hill, which I'm going to ramble about after a few minutes. And I did nothing else. Work, watching series, eating, sleeping. 4 things this whole week has taken from me, or I have done it. And I'm not super proud about it, but that's how life it has been. Oh, and on top of that, today I cooked fish, which is known as Morola Mach in Bengali. I'm not sure what is the English name. I'll try to search and put it in the caption. And I tried to cook it the way my mother has cooked so far at home, and I loved having it. So I cooked it. For the first time, it was okay-ish. It's not that great, but I'm okay. I am happy about it. I have race as well in few minutes. F1 race is going to start. So yes, after watching the race, I'll tell about it again for 15 minutes straight to my friends. I do that always. I watch the race and then I will ramble about it. And it's not about race. Any sport that I watch, after watching the race, I have to ramble about it with my friends. That's how it has been. So this is a rundown about my week, and let's start with it. So from last week, I started watching One Tree Hill. I have heard a lot about it, and it was showing up in my reels, in my YouTube shorts, and some amazing clips were coming up. So I thought, okay, fine, let's give it a try. And frankly speaking, first episode, the pilot episode of One Tree Hill, from that episode onwards, I got hooked to it like tremendously. For after a long time, I found the series just like how I wanted. It was so relatable. It's just like that. It played parts of my life. What is going on right now, where I'm not able to figure out my life. Also the parts of my life which I have lived during my college life. So it was such an amazing series, and I think that I was in search of such kind of a series, like where you binge watch for continuous, like at least 2 to 3 episodes or more. I used to do the same when I was in college. I have done with Grey's Anatomy, Vampire Originals, How to Get Away with Murder. Those 3 I have done. I have watched those series like continuously, binge watching what you call. And after that, I was trying to search for such kind of a series, and after a long time I found this one. I couldn't just get away from it. I want to watch what is the next thing happening, how is the relationship building between the characters, the character development, and everything. I just want to know what's next. And the best part, whenever I'm reading a book or whenever I'm watching a series, my biggest thing or biggest quest is always how you're developing a character. I don't like jumping a characters. Overnight, the character becomes from a bad boy to a good boy, or from a good girl to a bad girl, or however the character you want to do. That overnight transition, that's where I do have a problem. I don't like it. It's gradually building it up with circumstances, with situations, showing that each situation teaches this person something, and the next time there is a significant change in that person for that. And especially with Nathan's character, they have justified it, like how that from very a bad boy kind of, and not exactly bad boy, I would say, but I'm trying to find a good word, but a very mischievous, very notorious kind of a character to what he has become, from being a father to Jamie, NBA player, fighting his struggles in his life, that wheelchair episode, and the relationship he has built with Haley. Oh God, that is how your character, how you are built over the course of time in your own life as well. And I think that's how I related to I related with, for that reason. And I can't pick up one character from that series and say, oh, okay, this character is just like me, I am ditto that character. No, what I found amazing is that parts of Brooke Davis, parts of Peyton, parts of Haley, each and every character has some parts of my life in their storyline, and I have also taken certain decisions might be like that in my in my life so far, and how the impact has been, I could relate to it. Like, it's such a personal touch there was in this series. And also I think, although I had internet, I had access to Facebook and everything, but at that point of time, this blow up thing, viral going, reels going viral and all of those things, that was not so much predominant, and it was more of like, you were sending a friend request, which they did through, I think, webcam or something they had in the this one in their series. And I felt like, yeah, okay, my college life was also similar to this. Similar drama were going on, similar love triangles were going on. But my life exactly, I have lacked a lot of love dramas. I would have loved it. A little bit of love drama was there, but it was lacking. I was more of a tomboyish character in my college life. So anyone from my undergraduate degree watching me will definitely say a yes to that. I remember my outlook from that, like my OOTD from my undergraduate degree was three things. One, a pair of sleepers. Second, a jeans. And third, a t-shirt. Yeah, that time t-shirts were just a very common thing to wear. So these three things I used to wear. Sometimes my hair is in a messy bun, or it's a pigtail, or it's like this, just I have left it open. That's it. And spectacles, because I can't see far, so I have to wear my specs. That's it. There's nothing else I had done in my undergraduate degree. So cut to now, when I dress up and I go out. So whenever my undergraduate friends meet me suddenly after a long gap of time, they are like, oh, okay, this girl has changed. So yes, I think that was the part where I felt relatable to the characters or the storyline of One Tree Hill, because yes, you do change, but you do change with the course of time. There's one more thing that I like is the pilot episode I want to mention. In that pilot episode, the intensity between Lucas and between Nathan, the way they had one-on-one match, it was so much like emotional, I would say. It's not like where you're shedding your tears, no, but the other side of the emotions, there are many aspects of emotions, and the way they have picturized it was so beautiful. You could see that this too has got some emotions burdened in their heart because of the storyline, which will come up in the upcoming episodes, as their background, basically why they are like one coming from a very good family, like affluent family, and the other one is not coming from that affluent family. Why is it so? And then build up emotions. You could see it right in front of your eyes when they are playing that one-on-one. And from there, when there is an episode where I think it's season 4 starting or season 3 ending, when Lucas left to spend some time with Kate in a different place which starts with C, and I forgot the name. and how Nathan comes, and then they have the discussion where they call each other brothers. Lucas refer Nathan as little brother. That story built like from season 1, where there is an enormous city, where there is so much of emotion stuck in their heart, where they are like literally cutting each other throats kind of a thing. From there to the brotherhood that they have developed over these 3 seasons was wonderful to see. What I would have loved if the One Tree Hill has ended in season 4 as well, or season 6. I would say that's my personal opinion. I would say in season 4, when everyone has graduated from their senior year and they are pursuing different things in their life, they are going ahead with their college and different parts of the world, where finally they have figured out what they want in their life, what they want to do. I also love that where Lucas had a confusion, because earlier it was basketball, which he wanted to do as a career, and then till the last episode, he was, I think, in season 4 till the last or second last episode, sorry, he was not able to decide what he wants to do next in his life, which is something that we also struggle very much till now. Even though the series has been aired a long time back, till today I am just a 31-year-old female who is still not able to figure out her life, who still struggle to answer the question that what do you want to do in the next 5 years in your life, what is the next career goal for you. So yes, that struggle, that confusion that you have was something shown very nicely, I would say, by the character of Lucas, and I just love that part as well. So cut to when season 4 ends, and then they return back in season 5 as something. Lucas becomes an author, Brooke Davis becomes a very good fashion designer. What I loved in all of those transitions, because it is after I think a gap of 4 years or something, because that's how much time you need to get your undergraduate degree and all. So they have given that period of time after a gap of that. But then Peyton is there where she's not able to get a hold of her life. Like, it's not that she is failing or anything, but it's just not that she hasn't made the life that she has envisioned earlier, or she is not at par with her peers. The peers are quite well settled, doing quite well in their life. She has not done that. And I love that fact that they have brought that aspect of life as well in the series, because every time you cannot achieve everything in your life. Like, there will be a time where you have envisioned, okay, these are the 5 steps or the 5 goals in my life that I want to do in the next 4 years, but out of which you might not have taken even one because of certain other conditions and circumstances, and which is also okay. Every time that your peers are clinching all the medals and glories in their life and you are not being able to do it, yes, there is a struggle, but also realizing that it is okay to be okay with where you are standing in your life, that I think is the biggest showcase for me. And I loved it. I loved how that at times when I compare myself with my peers and say, okay, they are doing so much, they have achieved these things, or they have done this thing in their life, and I'm still struggling to figure out the next steps. It's also okay. I'm okay where I am standing right now. So that phase of life was so relatable to Peyton, and I love that part, I would say. Coming to Brooke Davis, I love how she wears her heart out in her sleeves, I would say. Like, she's there for each and every friend. Although it's not showcasted as like she is the one you go to as your next step solution for your each and every problems in your life, yet she is there for each and every friend, whether it's Nathan, Haley, Peyton, Lucas. And how she has been there for Peyton and Lucas and their love triangle, how they have resolved it, how they have become again friends and everything. That girl, I just love that part of her. I could relate to her so much in that part that yes, bearing your heart out in the slips is not wrong, and there is like yes, you'll get your heartbreak. Yes, there will be emotions that you have to struggle with to move on and everything, but it's okay. Like you will do it eventually, and there's nothing to change, I guess, about that fact. That's the most beautiful thing that I saw in that part of her character that they have shown. So that's what the beautifulness about Brooke Davis character, I would say, that her heart is in her sleeve and she does so much for her friends who acknowledges it. They don't acknowledge at every given instant, but they do acknowledge it at certain points in their life, and that's the best part. You don't get acknowledgement at everything you do, and you cannot expect the same also. Just because I have given you a pen, you need to give me a pen. That's a transactional kind of a thing. But you will be acknowledged for what you do at certain points of life, or you might not be, but that's okay. If you are someone who is the giver, who is doing it out of your heart because you want to, just do it. It's just nothing wrong. Like, just love that character about that characteristic part about her. Coming to Nathan, that character has shown, firstly, the transition that I have spoken in the first is from being a notorious bad boy to a good boy, with struggling with his family drama, his NBA career, his transitions in the sense of his life, how it has changed, how he has become a father at such a young age, their career, their dreams. I love that part, his whole character. I don't know how much people are like how they look into it's Nathan's character, but I love that character so much. His character actually shows that people can change. There are many circumstances, many challenges that will come into your life when you pursue your dream. But if you have belief, if you have the courage to fight those challenges, you can overcome and fulfill your dreams. A man from a wheelchair to again going back to NBA, becoming an NBA player, because the basketball is a sport that they have shown in the series. Also balancing out his family life, because he becomes a young father when they are in their senior year. They're graduating in the senior year, and that's when he becomes a father, balancing that part of his life, pursuing his dreams. There are a lot of challenges that comes, and yet it's not a perfect balance. Like 50-50 is not there. Sometimes some part of your life gets a little bit of higher priority, sometimes it gets less, and that's how your life is. And I love that part, how it is shown. And also towards the end, where he says that okay, it's better to work out when I can work out, rather than not being able to do so. If I say why, is because he has got some sort of back issues, because I won't go why and where, how he had developed, but there is a back issue which is getting a little bit in the worsen side. So he finally decided, okay, I have done enough, I have fulfilled my dream, I have become an NBA player. Now it's time to work out of it and pursue something else. Then he comes out of it, and then what is the next step, what he needs to do? That is also there, where he becomes a sport agent. I don't know what is the terminology for that, but he does become it. That transition is also very beautiful to, you have always envisioned yourself, okay, I'll become the NBA player, I will become this in my life. But what is after that, when it fulfills, or there is something else comes into play and you're not being able to continue it for a very long stretch of time? So what happens next? What do you do next? I think that is also beautifully shown in that character. Coming to Haley, I love her for being patient, her resilience. I mean, that character is like a motherhood, a motherly character because of her children's and everything. But at the same time, in spite of all of these things, she pursued her dreams as well. There were a lot of challenges that came along the way because of the ad, where she parted. There were the times when she and Nathan parted ways because she went for her dreams, her everything. So that, that struggle between your dreams and your other aspect of, like for example, her family life, that struggle is also very important part of your life, and they have shown it so beautifully, how she's struggling, how when everyone is against of it, still she's standing strong, that no, this is the time I fulfill my dream, and she's standing strong. She does. Then she comes back, she joins back her life. So that transition, or that struggle, finding the balance, it might take time. The best part is they don't show that she found the balance within overnight. She took, I think, 2 years or something kind of a time period in that series. So that part of Haley's character is wonderful. Coming to Lucas, that character is very different. I don't know how much I relate to that character, but that character has shown that, some challenges in your life changes every course of action, every direction in your life as well. The next direction, he always dreamed of becoming a basketball player. That's how the series starts. And then he has HCM. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's some sort of a heart disease where they are showing in the One Tree Hill series, for which he can't continue his basketball career. But that doesn't stop him. That doesn't break him, or he is not there sobbing his heart out. He is like, yes, first he struggles with it, which is also an emotion that was beautifully portrayed. Everyone, whenever such kind of challenges or such kind of obstacle comes in your life, we struggle to first of all accept it. Every time a challenge comes in your life, we just don't jump on it and overcome it. We first of all, there's a huge struggle on accepting that challenge. I have this challenge. That is also beautifully portrayed by this character. Then how he overcomes it, and the next phase of life, how it turns from a basketball player and everything. What I missed is suddenly that character change of how he loves reading books, that is being shown, but from a basketball player, that's how it is being shown that he loves basketball. It's his first thing in his life, to a writer. Okay, that part was a bit of miss, I would say, in this series. But yes, I loved it. From season 7, 8 and 9, what I felt is a rush. From season 1 to 6 was not slow. It was the correct pace at which the storyline was moving. The transition in the life, the obstacle, the challenges they were facing, accepting it, overcoming it, everything was moving in a right pace of time. But when it came to 7, 8 and 9, I felt it very rushed. Some storyline was jumping from here and there. I felt I didn't even understood the need of few things, that the few storyline, that why it was shown in the first place, what was the need of showing the ad and how it went. But out of those 7, 8 and 9, I would say the character of Clay and Queen was very beautiful. I love their storyline, although I don't relate to much of it, but I love that how it stood out from the rest of the storyline, those 3 seasons, how their story, their struggle with their mental health, with their challenges they were facing. I love those storyline, I would say. Out of which I didn't quite relate to it, where they have a child and everything. That was a little bit of why it is being introduced in the first place, kind of a question where I come from. But yes, those the storyline of Clay and Queen from season 7 to 9 is what I love the most. Overall, this series is so relatable for me. I mean to say, if I'm saying I'm relatable, so my undergraduate degree is around the year of 2013 to 17, kind of that period of time where you pick up your phone to call people. WhatsApp wasn't introduced. It was introduced when I was, I think, in my third year or something. Or I got the chance to use WhatsApp, I think, around third year or something. And where messages were done, typing in your phone, that, keypad phone was there, because touchscreen was a bit luxury at that point of time, but still we had that keypad phone, and where we were calling people. Facebook meant friend request or a bit of post here and there, that's it. That is the part, that is the college life that I have lived, and that is how it is being shown in this series. I loved for that reason. I guess that is how I felt so relatable to that series. How in college you struggle with your friendship, your love drama, your career, struggle with your marks as well in your exams and everything. And what are the stupid actions you do? There are stupid decisions that you do make in your life. I'm not a perfect person. I have also done taken stupid decision in my life. That is also shown in this series, and the consequences that comes. How do we accept those consequences, and how do we deal with it? I think overall that this series not only portrayed my college life, it also portrayed the struggle that I'm facing right now. I mean, it's a huge, from your college life till now, when you're still figuring out your life in your 30s. That's where also the series has covered up those part as well. So I guess that is one of the reason why I loved One Tree Hill. I just loved it. Loved watching the series. Kudos to all the characters out there. They have beautifully portrayed their characters, the storyline, the director, the script writer, everyone. I love the songs that were played in One Tree Hill, and I keep listening to them when I'm working these days. I just loved it. So yes, that is me rambling about One Tree Hill, because I loved so much One Tree Hill. And do let me know if I should watch any more series, such kind of series, and or something different, a different series. You can suggest in the comments section. Also, you can let me know if you like this rambling session and you would like me to host some more rambling session. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a great Sunday and great weekend. And wherever you are safe. Best wishes to you, all of you.